While on vacation with pals, 19-year-old Jay Slater disappeared in a secluded area of the Spanish island of Tenerife. A new theory suggests that he may have boarded a yacht to flee. Jay Slater, a teenage boy who vanished from Tenerife, may still be alive. According to a startling new suggestion, he may have escaped on a yacht. Jay, a 19-year-old from Lancashire, disappeared over a month ago while on vacation in a secluded area of the Spanish island with friends. On Monday, June 17, Jay was nowhere to be found. He had left a rave with 2 British males and spent the night at an Airbnb in the treacherous village of Masca. Jay was traveling back to Los Cristianos, a popular tourist destination, where he was staying with his friends Lucy and Brad at the time. He chose to walk the entire distance, which would have taken him an incredible 11 hours after missing a bus. Internet investigators now believe he may have boarded a yacht in an attempt to escape after hearing he had taken a stolen Rolex a few hours before he vanished. According to the Mirror, Detective Mark Williams Thomas, who flew to Tenerife to assist with the hunt, discovered that the teenager had boasted about stealing a £12,000 Rolex in a video that was uploaded on Snapchat. Online sleuths have speculated that Jay may have used a local dock to go to the neighboring Los Gigantes cliffs in light of this news. He may have suggested that the boy might be safe and sound somewhere else by leaving the island and jumping aboard a waiting boat. Strangely enough, right before Jay disappeared, a 14-foot yacht with the name Marubo was spotted passing past Masca Beach. Soon after, there was conjecture that the captain may have turned off the transponder when the yacht's signal abruptly vanished from computerized mapping. There are several of coves and beaches in the area, and one of them might contain a boat similar to the one Jay was transported to. This finding confirms an expert's belief that Jay's phone might have been thrown into the hills, explaining its last known GPS ping in a dangerous and unreachable location. Reporter Nick Pisa provided details from an interview with a former British Army soldier actively participating in the search, who indicated that it was possible to determine the GPS location of the mobile device if the phone was thrown into the untamed terrain. According to Pisa, speaking to GB News, "We're not obviously being kept up to speed, but the former officer did tell me that he thought where the ping came from was rather surprising because it was really steep to get to, and it was covered in undergrowth and cacti. He stated you would need a machete to get there. Alternatively, he hinted that the phone had been thrown into that growth." We are now entering our 4th week of a desperate hunt in Tenerife for missing British teenager Jay Slater. On the morning of June 17, the 19-year-old from Oswaldtwistle, Lancashire, vanished on the Spanish island. It was 3 weeks to the day after he was last seen, and on Monday, the search reached a devastating milestone. The night before he disappeared, Jay was on vacation with pals Lucy Law, 18, and Brad Hargreaves, 19, and they had been having fun at the Papagayo nightclub in Playa de las Americas. He left the club with 2 British males, an unidentified second man, and 31-year-old Ayub Qasim, also known as Johnny Vegas, to go to their Airbnb accommodation close to the isolated village of Mascot in the island's north. Read NEXT. Lucy Law, a friend, shares previously unseen photos of missing Jay Slater as she heads back to the UK from Tenerife. Jay departed from the Airbnb early on Monday. Qasim, who was incarcerated for planning to flood Wales with class of drugs 9 years prior, claimed that the adolescent came to the Airbnb alive and left the Airbnb alive. He and the second unidentified men have been ruled irrelevant to the missing person inquiry by the Spanish police. On the morning of his disappearance, Jay called Lucy at about 8:30 a.m. to let her know he was in the middle of nowhere, trying to make his way home with only 1% of his phone's charge remaining and no water. His final known location was in the Northern Canary Islands rural Destino Park, around an 11-hour trek from his Los Cristianos lodging. On the island, searches have continued ever since. Mountain rescuers assisted Spanish police in their 2-week search, which was concentrated on ravines and steep areas of the rural Destino Park.